Real estate fraud is not okay. Let's talk about 5 scams to avoid and how to avoid them. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Lindsay with the Wise Move AZ team at Realty ONE Group. If you want to stay up to date on all things Anthem and real estate, then you need to hit that subscribe button. Pro tip, you're also going to want to hit the little bell icon so that you're the first to know when our new videos are posted every single Thursday. Okay, so we're releasing this video on Halloween, and Carolyn and I put our heads together and thought, what's the spookiest thing we could talk about on Halloween? Real estate fraud. As your Anthem, Arizona realtors, we take our job of protecting our clients and their hard-earned money very seriously. So today we're going to share 5 scary scams that you could fall victim to and how to make sure that you don't. Sound good? Before we start, I want to give a little disclaimer. We're going to be looking at 5 different real estate related scams to watch out for. There are way more than 5 scams out there. Our best advice to you is to trust your instinct. If something doesn't feel right, ask more questions. Hopefully between your realtor, lender, and escrow officer, you have a team of dedicated professionals that you can trust to protect you. Let's be honest, we are bombarded by scam artists daily. They call, they email, they text, and they skim your card at the gas station. Next thing you know, we'll probably be dealing with scam drones showing up at our front door. These fraudsters are cunning, creative, and non-discriminating. They don't care how old you are, they don't care what you look like, they don't care about you. But guess what? We do. So let's take a closer look at real estate fraud. First things first, what is real estate fraud? It's when a person or group of people make misrepresentations and or use false information to take advantage of another person using a real estate transaction as the means of committing the fraud. Here are 5 common real estate scams to keep on your radar if you're buying, selling, renting, or mortgaging a home. Number 1, escrow wire fraud. When buying a home in Arizona, it's not uncommon for the buyer to wire the earnest money deposit or the cash to close to the escrow company. Here's how wire fraud works. A person claiming to be from the escrow company calls, emails, or texts you with instructions on where to send your money. Behind the scenes, the fraudster may have set up fake email addresses, websites, phone numbers, banking details, and anything else they need to appear legitimate. If you're buying a home, you've probably been expecting this call. So you do as you're told and you wire the funds in accordance with the instructions provided. Before you even realize you've been scammed, the fraudsters have withdrawn your money and are nowhere to be found. So how do you protect yourself from this one? The easiest way is to use another method to transfer funds, like a cashier's check. Talk to your realtor and escrow officer about your options. If you have to wire money, don't worry. Before you send any money, call your escrow officer to confirm that the wire instructions are correct. Number 2, mortgage fraud for profit. This one can take many different forms and it can get a bit technical. So let me explain just one way in which an unsuspecting buyer could fall victim to this fraud. Let's say that you're looking to buy into a neighborhood out of state, and a friend that already lives there calls you and tells you that their neighbor is selling. The owner says he'll sell the home to you at a great price because you're doing the transaction off the market and he doesn't have to pay any realtor commissions. He may even show you that he's taking the commission amounts off the price. Score. You go and see the house and it is exactly what you wanted. Yay! Then the seller tells you that he can put you in touch with a great lender that offers awesome rates. How nice is this guy? You're new to the area and wouldn't have known who to call anyways. You talk to the lender and they're happy to help. The transaction moves along smoothly, you close on the house of your dreams, and everything is good. Right? Wrong. Let me tell you what's happening from the scammer's perspective. In this case, the fraudster is the seller. Unbeknownst to you, they've inflated the price of the house. That great deal you're getting is actually $60,000 above market value. But how would you know? Houses here are way less expensive than where you're from. In the background, the seller has been working with an unscrupulous appraiser and may even be talking to the lender directly. In the end, you've paid way too much for the home, and the seller is somewhere on a beach with your money. Ouch. So how do you prevent this? Well, the easiest way is to find a realtor that you trust to protect you and your hard-earned dollars. This means talking to friends and family and doing some research online. Then ask your realtor what they do to ensure that you're paying a fair price for the home. They'll be able to take you through their process for running comps and anything else they do. A good realtor thrives on getting the best possible deal for their clients. The other thing I would say, and you've probably heard it a million times, but if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If you're thinking, this story sounds oddly specific, Lindsay, it is. Carolynn was able to save some buyers from this very situation a few years ago. The buyers were paying cash, so the fraud didn't even rely on the seller colluding with an appraiser or a lender. Yikes. Number 3, mortgage fraud for housing. This fraud generally relies on buyers using inaccurate or misleading information about their financial background. It often, but not always, involves identity theft. If you're thinking about buying a home and need a loan, know that a good lender is going to fully investigate your financial situation. Don't lie. Chances are, you'll get caught. On the flip side of this, it's always important to keep a close eye on your credit score and finances to ensure that you haven't been the unsuspecting victim of identity theft. If something doesn't look right, contact your bank immediately. Number 4, rental scams. This is another one that can take many forms, and sadly, it's frighteningly common. With this type of fraud, the scammer posts a property for rent, usually on social media. They often go as far as posting real or fictitious photos of the property. The catch is that the fraudster has no interest in the home and no right to rent it out. When a potential renter reaches out, the fraudster asks for an upfront payment to let you see the home and to hold as a deposit, usually promising to return it if you decide not to rent. Your payment is quick cash in the fraudster's pocket, and when you show up to see the home, they're nowhere to be found. How do you protect yourself? Do everything you can to ensure that you're dealing with a legitimate realtor, property manager, or the homeowner directly. This will require you to do some research online. Additionally, you shouldn't need to put down a deposit just to see the home. Number 5, foreclosure rescue fraud. Okay, all of these frauds make me mad, but this one particularly makes my blood boil. It's really taking advantage of people in a tough spot. Foreclosure rescue fraud involves fraudsters who promise to help borrowers who are underwater on their mortgage. They promise to reduce a homeowner's mortgage payments for a large upfront fee. Once the fee is paid, the fraudster disappears, leaving the homeowner in worse financial shape than before. First off, if you're in a position where you're struggling with your mortgage, I am so sorry. Secondly, to prevent yourself from falling prey to this fraud, reach out to a lender that you trust to discuss your options. You can ask family and friends for recommendations or do research online. There are also HUD-accredited housing counselors that can work with you and keep you safe. So there you have it. Pretty scary, right? I hope that this video will help you to identify some of the red flags when it comes to real estate fraud. If you've heard of or experienced another type of real estate fraud, drop it in the comments below so that others can learn from it too. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that like button, subscribing to our channel, and sharing this video with your friends. See you next Thursday.